So go on YouTube. You know, funny that I mentioned YouTube because today we're kind of not celebrating, but talking about social media and how we need to elevate it to God. There's so many good YouTube clips out there. Anyone watch YouTube? You're like, duh. That's where I get everything in life. YouTube is life. There's a lot of great YouTube clips out there. Can I share a music video that I made? It didn't like go super viral, but it went viral enough where I was like super appreciative that people watched it. You guys cool with that? Alright. So, if you guys know, I have my clicker. Where did my clicker go? Oh, what did I do with it? Thanks. Give it up for Jake. Just handed me my magic clicker. Like, Jake, I'm hungry. Here's a kind bar. Thank you so much, Jake. He's the man. Alright, so here's the video. It's called I'm Not a Rapper. I'm not a rapper. Won't get it. Don't have the swagger. Won't get it, yeah. I just say words really fast. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Hey, I see you judging me, cause I'm not your ordinary Asian kid with the ninja skills. Taking your order for the dollar bills. I speak English better than you. Prose and poetry stay in school. Doesn't faze me when people hate, because realistically they're a little late. The world's so much bigger than ignorance. You tweeted something, but we moved on since. Tripped up trying to be somebody. Is anyone out there anybody? You know them so insecure, so they try to turn heads by being impure. There's this language, it's called love. Most don't know the meaning of. It's not something you just feel, but how you choose to act and deal. I know when I press record, the truth comes flowing through the microphone cord. The people are listening, ready or not. The good Lord inspires me, it just don't stop. Won't get it, I'm not a rapper. Won't get it, don't have the swagger. Won't get it, yeah. I just say words really fast. Won't get it, you think you know me. Won't get it, unique and only. Won't get it, yeah. Do the best version of you. Little brother, you got too much swag. How you walk when your pants are sagged. I don't know what your plans are now, but listen for a minute while you raise your brow. Too many low lives try to have the highlight. Tongues running out while you wanna steal the limelight. Don't even know your whole story, bro, but you wanna be a man. Stand up and grow. It's not about all the girls you can sex. Bling bling or the muscles you flex. Takes a real man to be a father. Ain't ready for that, then don't even bother. Don't hear around like you're some kind of robber or rob her. I'm a man who can love her. Too many boys wanna make the man when they still in the box playing with the sand. We have a God who can turn it around. Heal your life when it's upside down. Raise you up cause you know it's not enough to be living it up when you're stuck in a bluff. Been there, done that, old news bump that new day. Live on, glorify, stay strong. You can change your history with the fire in your heart, no mystery. Won't get it, I'm not a rapper. Won't get it, don't have the swagger. Won't get it, yeah. I just say words really fast. Won't get it, you think you know me. Won't get it, unique and only. Won't get it, yeah. Do the best version of you. People acting crazy. People acting cray-cray. Acting crazy. People acting cray-cray. Acting crazy. People acting cray-cray. Crazy. Won't get it, I'm not a rapper. Won't get it, don't have the swagger. Won't get it, yeah. I just say words really fast. Won't get it, you think you know me. Won't get it, unique and only. Won't get it, yeah.
you guys. Thank you. If you'd like to support a foundation that I started 2.5 years ago, it's called Help Paul Pay for His Baby Diapers Foundation. The CD's in the bookstore, thanks. Anyways. But I was just really humbled because that video, I think it's at like 140,000 views, which is really cool. But what's even cooler is this next viral video that is one of my favorites. It's called Dramatic Squirrel. It has like 3.2 million views. Could you play that for us? Can you just leave that up? Because that's just like super awesome. It keeps me so focused in life. Always watching you. YouTube is amazing. I mean, I don't know the stats, but there's literally so many videos and so many hours of video that even if you watched it every waking moment till you're like 100 years old, you still wouldn't be done. It's incredible how much data there is on the internet nowadays. And frankly, guys, our world has changed so much. It's crazy because I'm saying that now. You're like, you're not even that old. No, I'm 34 years old. I don't know if you knew this. I know, I thank you. It's because I have Asian genes. Don't hate me because I'm beautiful. Me and Father Leo. Father Leo's actually 75. He just has that Filipino glow. But the world has changed, guys. I mean, you guys are complaining when your Wi-Fi's not working. You're like, I really have to look up this thing for my homework. It's like on Google. And it took 4 seconds. I can't even. Guys, when I had to look up information when I was your age, I had to go to the library and ride a bike there. And then go to this little filing cabinet and look up the Dewey Decimal System. You ever heard of that? Some of you have. It was your chaperone, it wasn't you. Okay. But guys, the world has changed so much. Like, when internet came on the scene, it was called AOL, America Online. Anyone ever hear of that? Yeah. Crickets. Once again, your chaperones, it's all good, baby. And we didn't have wireless Wi-Fi, Ethernet. We had dial-up. You know, like when there used to be these things called phones that you would plug into a line in your wall? It would use that, and when you would sign on to get internet access, it would go... like it was the most bizarre thing. You felt like you were in a science experiment. And then eventually you would get online and it would take like 10 minutes to download like one photo. Nowadays you're like, okay, my brain just kind of melted out of my ear. Let me push it back up. It's amazing how technology has changed so much. And not only that, but culturally, it's this weird phenomenon. Like, people love their phones. Make some noise if you love your phone. Okay, all of you just yelled, you have problems. Just be real about it. Let's be real. It's so funny to see people in their phones. It's like, it's this weird committed sort of relationship. Have you seen it? It's like people get really awkward about it. They're like, iPhone, I love you. You wake up next to me. You sleep next to me. You massage my leg when people call me. And that person's wife is looking at him going, what the heck is wrong with you, right? It's this weird committed relationship. Have you seen someone ever drop their phone? It's like the world's about to end. It's like, I think it's dead. I can't look. Can you look for me? You're so young. I just traded in my old phone. Oh, the screen's fine. People are nuts, man. People are nuts about their phone. It's incredible. I want to show you some crazy social media facts. Sorry, squirrel. All right. Read with me. Teens spend 9 hours a day on social media. Okay, stop reading. Very good. 9 hours a flipping day. If you use, okay, just estimate for a second. Who thinks that they use their phones less than 9 hours a day, or social media in general? Okay, that would be considered normal. Who uses social media 9 hours a day? Raise your hand. Who uses it more than 9 hours a day? Who's currently on it and not even listening to me? It's amazing how subconsciously, you still answered my question. It takes a lot of skill. All right, next. You don't have to read it with me. 2.5 billion people have social media accounts, guys. That's like almost half the earth. People like 1.7 million pictures a minute on Instagram. Guys, that is mind-boggling. People like Facebook statuses 500,000 times every minute. People tweet 500 million times on Twitter a day. And get this, people snap 9,000 times per second on Snapchat. That's 3 billion a day. Why? How many times can you put the doggy filter on your face? I just want to send it to everybody I know in life. It's amazing, guys, how social media has really changed the playing field. Business, culture, the way we relate, it really is mind-boggling. All right? I don't know if you guys saw this viral video that was going around, but there's a gentleman named Simon Sinek. I think that's how you say his name. Did anyone see this? He's this guy, he's this expert on sort of like culture and technology, but he had this amazing video. I want to share it with you right now. And don't take it as him kind of looking down on millennials, but he loves millennial people, he works with them, but he was giving a critique on just sort of the millennial culture and how social media influences them. So go ahead and take a look.
We're growing up in a Facebook, Instagram world. In other words, we're good at putting filters on things. We're good at showing people that life is amazing even though I'm depressed, right? And so everybody sounds tough. And everybody sounds like they got it all figured out. And the reality is there's very little toughness and most people don't have it figured out. And so when the more senior people say, well, what should we do? They sound like, this is what you gotta do. And they have no clue. Right? So you have an entire generation growing up with lower self-esteem than previous generations, right? Through no fault of their own. Through no fault of their own, right? They were dealt a bad hand, right? Now let's add in technology. We know that engagement with social media and our cell phones releases a chemical called dopamine. That's why when you get a text, it feels good, right? So, you know, we've all had it where you're feeling a little bit down or feeling a bit lonely, and so you send out 10 texts to 10 friends, you know, hi, 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 because it feels good when you get a response, right? Right? It's why we count the likes, it's why we go back 10 times to see if my Instagram is growing slower, did I do something wrong? Do they not like me anymore, right? The trauma for young kids to be unfriended, right? Because we know when you get it, you get a hit of dopamine, which feels good. It's why we like it, it's why we keep going back to it. Dopamine is the exact same chemical that makes us feel good when we smoke, when we drink, and when we gamble. In other words, it's highly, highly addictive, right? We have age restrictions on smoking, gambling, and alcohol, and we have no age restrictions on social media and cell phones, which is the equivalent of opening up the liquor cabinet and saying to our teenagers, hey, by the way, this adolescence thing, if it gets you down. But that's basically what's happening. That's basically what's happening, right? That's basically what happened. You have an entire generation that has access to an addictive, numbing chemical called dopamine through social media and cell phones as they're going through the high stress of adolescence. Why is this important? Almost every alcoholic discovered alcohol when they were teenagers. When we're very, very young, the only approval we need is the approval of our parents. And as we go through adolescence, we make this transition where we now need the approval of our peers. Very frustrating for our parents, very important for us. It allows us to acculturate outside of our immediate families into the broader tribe, right? It's a highly, highly stressful and anxious period of our lives, and we're supposed to learn to rely on our friends. Some people, quite by accident, discover alcohol and numbing effects of dopamine to help them cope with the stresses and anxieties of adolescence. Unfortunately, that becomes hardwired in their brains, and for the rest of their lives, when they suffer significant stress, they will not turn to a person, they will turn to the bottle. Social stress, financial stress, career stress. That's pretty much the primary reasons why an alcoholic drinks, right? What's happening is because we're allowing unfettered access to these dopamine-producing devices and media, basically it's becoming hardwired, and what we're seeing is as they grow older, too many kids don't know how to form deep, meaningful relationships.
All right, let's stop
Their
that
words,
video
not
right
mine.
there.
They will admit that many of...
Thank you, Dr. Simon. I appreciate your time. Guys, this is, when I watched this video, it was really mind-opening because I could relate to a lot of things that he was saying. Just by way of honesty, all right? Raise your hand if you can honestly say you're at least slightly addicted to your smartphones at times. Okay, look around the room, guys. You're not the only one. That piece, you can put him down. That piece that he said about dopamine and how our brain releases dopamine every time we are on social media, we get a like, we get friended, we get whatever. This is a reality. And physiologically, it's amazing how, like, the moment we're bored, the moment we don't have anything to do, what do? It's like 10 years ago, it wasn't even as much as it is today. Like, you would just see people kind of just looking around on a subway train, on a plane, on this or that. But now it's like this is our safety device, and people will just fling it open and kind of distract themselves. Raise your hand if you've ever hung out with your phone more than your friends in person. Okay. Next, put your hand down. Raise your hand if you ever thought your phone was ringing in your pocket when it wasn't. This is a new phenomenon. It's like these phantom ringing things. We're like, physiologically, we feel like a tick or an itch. We're like, who's calling me? Who wants me? It's amazing how our brains have even been trained on that subconscious level to think that somebody might be reaching out to us. Raise your hand, let's be honest, if you ever use social media to make yourself appear happier than you actually were in the moment. I raise my hand too. All right, put it down. Raise your hand if you ever felt a little disappointed or depressed when your post or picture or video wasn't liked that many times on social media. All right, put your hands down. No, it's very revealing. It's very revealing. Because so much of our self-worth at times, so much of the understanding of who we are is highly associated with our social media accounts. It's like, how are people treating me? How are people liking me? How are people triggering me? How are people not friending me or being my friends by supporting my post? It's incredible how we just rip ourselves just thinking that with all this pressure, it's like, but I want people to like me. I want people to laugh. I want people to follow me. And they did this study where people who use Facebook more are more likely, I think it was like more than 3 hours a day, they're more likely to be depressed than people who don't. And it's curious as to why that might be when it just seems harmless. But once again, when all this emotion, when all this physiological connection with our brains reacting and not reacting to things, and then this sort of psychological thought that my value, my worth comes from people liking me. Or if people are doing the opposite, and maybe they're bullying me, maybe they're making nasty comments. Raise your hand if anyone has ever made a nasty or like unkind comment about your picture or post, and you were just wrestling with that for the rest of the day. Okay? Thank you for your honesty. You can put your hands down. Guys, here's the thing. What I am trying to say is not this. I am not trying to say that social media is bad. No, it's not. Social media is a neutral. Like any gift, gifts have to be used well. If they are not used well, like Simon was saying, it can become literally highly addictive. It can run and control your life, where you are so busy being on your phone that you are unable to form meaningful, lasting relationships with people around you. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but just in my own experience, I find that more and more people have difficulties just even having a normal conversation. Have you ever experienced that? Have you ever experienced anyone, whether in your own life or someone else, where they were literally unable to have a regular conversation because the only way they know how to relate is click, 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 swipe, 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 click, 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 double tap. And guys, that's not life. Like, this is supposed to be a tool. It's supposed to be a tool that enhances your life and makes it better, not makes it worse. So we have to be aware of the pros and cons, the positives and the negatives of social media, your smartphone, tablet, computer, etc. Because these tools, once again, they're supposed to be a blessing and not a curse. So for a moment, I want you to think about our hashtag. And we made a special hashtag for this talk. Before you read the quote, just look at the bottom right. It's hashtag Elevate Social Media. And obviously the theme of our weekend is Elevate. And elevate meaning that God wants to elevate every aspect of our life so that, like it reminds me of this quote by St. Irenaeus. He said, the glory of God is man and woman fully alive. The glory of God is man fully alive, meaning that when you live a life that is full and beautiful and true and joyful, like God delights in that. There's a lot of Catholics who think, if I take my Catholic faith seriously, I'm just going to get awkward. I'm going to be socially awkward and unacceptable. I will have no friends. Like, all righty then. I am Catholic. I don't know how to have fun. Okay. People have this miserable understanding that if I sell out for God, if I'm committed to Him, if I'm all in, then somehow I become just cast off from everyone else. And that is far from the truth. Friends, God wants to elevate every aspect of our life, including social media. This quote from Pope Francis. He says, communication, wherever and however it takes place, has opened up broader horizons for many people. This is a gift of God, which involves great responsibility. I like to refer to this power of communication as closeness. Brothers and sisters, it's amazing how you can literally communicate with someone across the world instantaneously on your phone. More than ever, people are connected. More than ever, we're exposed to other cultures, people with talents all across the world. And it's awesome. Because we're realizing that, our country isn't the only country in the world. This world is a big place, and it's beautiful. We're all of God's children. So let's keep focusing on the positive. Christ obviously should be at the center of all that we do, and therefore our use of social media should reflect our relationship with Him. We don't get to turn off our faith as soon as we leave church on Sundays, as soon as we leave Steubenville. We don't get to turn off our faith. And so the same thing, as soon as you go on your phone, how are you representing your faith in Christ? Let's talk about some positive ways to use social media. It's pretty basic, but sharing life events, sharing good times with friends and family, inspiring posts, videos, and quotes, funny posts. I mean, everyone can use some humor that bring joy and laughter without the perversion, and you know what I'm talking about. And witnessing to your faith in Christ. Guys, I don't know if you know this, but one of the most powerful ways to share your faith is through social media. Because literally, you can share a post and it could go viral and you could reach potentially millions of people just by the fact that you did that. And so, on that note of doing something positive, and this is going to be a group activity really quick, I want you guys, and I'm going to allow you, take out your smartphones really quick. Take out your smartphones. If you don't have one, then gather with someone near you who does. Oh, no. This group doesn't have smartphones. Guys, you can be my friends. Come here. No, don't just say that. I'm just kidding. But it's okay if you don't. But for those of you who do, or maybe someone from this group who does, maybe you guys can take a big selfie. Because here's the thing. I want you to take a selfie with some people in your group or maybe people around you really quick. So I give you full permission. Take a selfie. Go ahead. And if you see someone left out, invite them in, all right? All right, this shouldn't take long, so really quick selfie. You don't have to include all your BFFs. Okay, awesome. All right, guys, did you take your selfie? All right, now I give you permission to go on your favorite social media outlet, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever. You can't really do it on Snapchat unless it's live. But I want you to post it really quick, and I want you to use the hashtag that we have on the bottom, hashtag Elevate Social Media. And you can also add the hashtag Steuby17. But I want you to go ahead and in that post, in the caption, just share something about how you're having a great time at this Catholic Youth Conference this weekend, or Steubenville Summer Youth Conference. Hashtag Elevate Social Media. Elevate, E-L-E-V-A-T-E, Elevate. Thank you. Social media. And hit send, hit post. Boom, you guys got it? Okay, sweet, put your phone away. We'll come back to it later, I promise. It will still be there unless someone steals it. God have mercy on you. Okay. All right. You guys ready? You don't have to put 20 filters. You look beautiful. Ladies, you look beautiful. Gentlemen, you look good, bro. You been working out? No? Okay, you still look good. All right, if you can draw your attention back here. And I want to do the same, but can you guys be in my video selfie? You guys cool with that? Production, Jake, could you guys turn on the light out here so I can see these lovely people in this shot? Can you turn the house lights on slightly? Okay, I want to make it a little bit different. When I say Steubenville, Ohio, make some noise, do you guys know the chant? Ole, 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 ole. But it can't you can't just it just has to be 10 plus, right when I introduce you, all right? So stand up, ole, ole. You guys cool with that? Go ahead and stand up. Steubenville main campus, wanna make some noise. Ole, 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 Thank you very much, guys. Good job. All right, take a seat, take a seat. So here's the thing, guys. I'm not even kidding. I'm gonna put that up on it'll be on my Facebook. It'll be on my Instagram. If you wanna follow me, here's this next one. Oh, not the video yet. This is what I do in my free time. But guys, I'm gonna be posting that on my Instagram at HeyPJK, or you can look up Paul J. Kim later to find my Twitter and YouTube and Facebook. But guys, these are some examples of positive ways, just like we did, so simple. You don't have to be like the celebrity that you're following. You're like, oh my gosh, I don't know if I want to do that. Just be you and just be joyful. You can just share positive things about your life. I'm having a good time. And yeah, there are times when we're not feeling so good, but to be authentic and to be real. I'm very blessed to have a beautiful wife. We've been married for almost 4 years. We have 2 beautiful kids at home. We also have a minivan. I have no shame. Those automatic doors, man, game changer. But we walked into Party City one day and mayhem follows, so this is me and my family. Can you play the video really quick?
It's Shark Week. Ow. Ow. That's what happens when mommy's hangry.
It's me, Mario. No, it's me, Mario. No, it's me, Mario.
Who are we? Where are we? Alfred!
Me?
You're not Alfred. You're not a British white man.
You want to see a Jabberwocky that can't dance?
Stop.
That was painful. Okay, thank you so much. So, yeah, family life is awesome. That's a whole nother talk. I'm so blessed, but that's just one of the positive ways, just having good, clean fun. Here's another example. I think I posted this on Easter. YOLO, lol, just kidding. Be right back, Jesus. Because he lived more than once, you know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Here's another one. Pope Francis, he actually has a Twitter account, so he has way more followers than all of us. But there's some beautiful quotes. You can follow our Holy Father, which is an amazing thing. Never before, I think Pope Francis, did a pope ever have Twitter or Instagram. Okay, so you can actually follow him and get positive messages about the gospel of Christ. And it's amazing how, right there on your phone, you can have this communication with him. A friend of mine named Emily Wilson, she has this beautiful ministry, and she reaches specifically to girls. And this was on her wedding day. And this is a fun fact, okay? I was at her wedding. You see that white car on the left? That's my Toyota, okay? This is a true story. After their wedding, my wife and I were super tired, so we wanted to take a nap, and we literally parked outside on the street, like near the reception area, and we took a nap. And we were sleeping in the car, and then I heard like this commotion. I looked up, and it was literally Emily and Daniel, her husband, walking down the street taking photos. So I feel like super famous that the butt end of my car is in this photo. Thank you for listening. But Emily and Daniel, they're great Catholic couple. Emily's also a Steubenville speaker, but I want to read this caption really quick. She shared, I got an email from a girl this week who had been dating a guy. She thought he was great and she really liked him. Once he found out she was saving sex for marriage, he ended things immediately. This is a situation I hear about often. She was sad, understandably, because the situation can definitely sting. But I've got a message for her and any other woman out there who've dealt with this or ever will. Listen here, you should celebrate. I wish I could high-five you and buy you a pizza. Why? Because by his honesty, you have just been freed from wasting even one more day of your precious life dating a boy who wanted to take from you what didn't belong to him. Now you're available to date a man, which is a fantastic thing because men look to get to know your heart and learn about every facet of the beautiful soul you got. So there you go. She's sharing a beautiful moment of her life. And I know, like, girls, this is the post you're waiting for. You're like, I'm going to post every second on my wedding day. Like, this is the post of all posts, right? Obviously, there were much more. But I love how she took this special day and she put a positive message to it. That was wonderful. Guys, you guys can quote other people. You can inspire others, believe it or not. You just have to get creative. Don't just be like everyone else who just has literally thousands of selfies on their account, but get creative in ways where you can inspire, encourage, make people laugh. Here's another one. A friend of mine named Jackie Francois, also another Steubenville speaker, she posted about, he's a personal hero of mine. His name is Nick Vujicic. He was born without legs and without arms. All right, you think you have problems with your body? Yeah, he wasn't born with arms and legs. And you know what? At one point, he was so devastated with his self-image, his understanding of his self-worth, that he wanted to kill himself. He was suicidal. Fast forward after he met Jesus Christ, and Christ changed his heart and showed him that he indeed had a plan for his life. Nick travels all around the world. He speaks not only to churches and conferences, he speaks to presidents of countries. And his testimony is so powerful. And he said this, I have the choice to be angry at God for what I don't have, or be thankful for what I do have. Nick is also married to this beautiful girl, and they have 2 kids as well. Guys, incredible. It's so inspiring. Like, to see this on your feed, it would literally get you out of a slump if you felt depressed one day, wouldn't it? Because here's the thing. It's not good to compare, but sometimes we need to, in some sense, to be grateful and to realize we have a lot of things that other people don't. Next example. Here are some accounts that you guys can follow that are really great. At Go To Steubenville, at Redeemed Online, at Life Team, at Blessed Is She, and at Ascension Press. There are so many other examples, but these are some good Catholic ones to have on your phone. And why is that important? Because in some of our talks, I just talked to the men of God. The girls are like, so what? We like to grunt and stuff, okay? I just talked to the men. I talked to the men about how we need to surround ourselves with positive influences. We need to remove from ourselves the things that are going to drag us down into sin, into bad influences. So guys, same thing goes for your social media accounts. You need to consider who it is that you follow. I want to talk a little bit about some obvious negative uses of social media. Bullying, so clear. People do it all the time. There are like professional trolls everywhere. Okay, whose one goal in life, because they're hiding behind the comfort of their computer or their phone or their tablet, they think that all of a sudden, I can become like the worst person ever. And that somehow, there is no responsibility or accountability. Yes, there is. Because whether it's in person or whether it's behind a phone, you know the feeling. You know the feeling when someone is really like being trashy to you. Like really being sketchy at you, like really trying to rip you apart. People do it all the time, and it affects people's lives, guys. Gossiping. Gossiping. Guys, it's so easy to gossip. It's so easy to be nasty to people who you don't like, who you don't agree with, who you wouldn't hang out with. You just don't like their face. You don't like how they dress. You don't like their breath. You don't like that they're just standing in the same room. I don't care. Because the thing is, it just goes back to the simple golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Guys, when I was in high school as a teen, our youth minister, she invited us into the room, and all of the peer leaders were holding pieces of paper, white pieces of paper. She says, today's activity, guys, is you need to take, she had like markers and cans and scissors and just all sorts of things. She's like, you guys can take whatever you want. We want you to write the name of the person you don't like on the paper, and we want you to go ahead and do whatever you want to the piece of paper. And we're like, can I add like 15 more names actually? So we wrote the names of the people we don't like, and then it was just chaos. It was like a bloodbath. It was like, ah! Like people were going straight up tribal in that room, okay? Ooga jaga. It was getting kind of scary, all right? Almost had to call security. After everyone calmed down, and the people holding the pieces of paper were like, we need to get some holy water up in here. They turned the pieces of paper around, and lo and behold, they had taped a picture of Jesus to the back of those white pieces of paper. All the holes and the cuts and the scrapes, all the scratches and the dents and all the marks that were made were literally flying out the other side through Jesus' face. And we all stood there looking at this social experiment prank going, that's messed up. That was a trap. But guys, girls, brothers, sisters, friends, whatever we do, to the least of our brothers and sisters, we're doing it to Christ. And we are all accountable for our words and our actions, for what we do and what we don't do, and especially on social media. So brothers and sisters, be the opposite. It's so easy to hate people. It's so easy to make fun of them and bully them. I mean, granted, like good, clean fun is one thing, and people can be uber sensitive, but I'm talking about just straight up like bullying, and you know the difference. It's so easy to go that route, but we're called to be different. Sexting, exploiting, pornography. I'm not going to go too much into the porn thing, but there's some amazing stats on porn. This was written by a Protestant pastor. 90% of children ages 8 through 16 have viewed porn. The largest consumers of pornography are 12 to 17-year-old boys. 1 in 6 women struggle with porn. 25% of search. I mean, it's incredible. It's staggering how much porn is filtered through the internet and how many people suffer and struggle with this addiction. And guys and girls, if you struggle with it or you know someone who does, I want you to visit these sites. xxxchurch.com, which sounds like a really sketchy church, but it's actually a really great resource that helps men and women overcome the giants in their life, and this one in particular. There's another one called covenanteyes.com. This is something that I posted in regards to sexting. There's a lot of people out there who think that in order to feel loved, this is primarily a girl thing I would suppose, in order to feel loved and wanted, I need to do what the guy wants. And unfortunately, there's a lot of perverts out there. And I'm not just saying guys, there are girls too who have issues. And this was my response to ladies in particular. Guys, I'm not calling you the bad guys. I'm just saying this was particularly to the sisters. Ladies, you are worth so much more than sending nude photos of yourselves. It's a lie to think you need to show more skin to be valuable, wanted, and loved. It's from my heart. Thank you. It's another way, guys, that you can share your faith and encourage one another. You know, guys can encourage girls. Girls can encourage guys. It can go both ways. It doesn't matter. Like, we can all encourage each other. And so, one thing I want you to think about, this is a funny meme. It's like sarcastic, like Christian memes. Because Jesus, it's hashtag things Jesus never said. It doesn't really matter what you do, so long as deep down inside, you're a good person. Hashtag things Jesus never said. All right? So guys, being that we're at this conference and we have time to reflect and think about our life, I want you to think for a moment. 1, who do you need to unfollow? I want you to take an honest gut check. And when you're on your phone, next time it is, not right now, but next time you're on your phone and you're scrolling through your accounts, guys, if there's something that you wouldn't be proud of if your family was there watching it with you, or if Jesus was standing there going, gee, Bobby, what are you looking at there? Oh, she's kind of naked. Maybe you should help Kylie put on some more clothes. Because that's an act of mercy. Okay, just saying. Just saying. I'm not referring to any Kylie in particular. I'm just saying. And it's not just with modesty or immodesty. It's with drugs. It's with violence. It's with so many things out there, guys, where people can be so negative. Don't follow them. And number two, what do you need to stop posting? And I forgot a third one. What do you need to start posting? Because friends, every single day your life can make an impact. Don't compare yourself with other people just because you don't have as many followers. Just because you're not as popular. Because guys, even if you woke up and all of a sudden you had 2 million, 10 million followers, let me tell you something. All right, this is going to be mind-blowing. Listen to me. If you got on your phone and you found that you had 10 million followers, your life wouldn't change. In the sense that it wouldn't make you happier. It would not make you happier. That is the great illusion, that if I have all these people following me, somehow my life's going to be amazing. No, it won't. Don't you ever see TMZ? Don't you see how miserable these celebrities are? And they have like hundreds of millions of followers. Tell me, is social media the answer? The answer is no. The answer goes back to this fundamental thing that we're all searching for here this weekend. This thing that we need to elevate. And it's our faith. It's our faith in Christ, who has the answers to what our value is and where it really comes from. And it's not from followers. It's not from likes. It's from the fact that you are created by God and you are loved. You are redeemed. You count. Your life matters. Amen? That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. Brothers and sisters, I need to wrap this up. But just a few more things. What's on your lock screen? Same kind of example. What do you have on your lock screens? Is there anything that's distracting you from focusing on what's true, good, and beautiful? All right, there's a couple apps that I have. I have the Faith folder. I have a Bible. I have a rosary app, believe it or not. I have the daily readings. It's called Evangelizo. There's all these great apps out there, and you can have them on your phones to remind you that faith is something I need to live out every single day. Brothers and sisters, one thing is, I want you to consider, and unfortunately we're running out of time here, but sometime this weekend, I want to challenge you with this. You guys posted earlier a picture of you guys having a good time with friends here at Steubenville. I want you to make a video, and maybe your chaperones, you can hold them accountable. Guys, just do this, because it's gonna impact people, believe it or not. Make a video of how this weekend impacted you, what you came away with. And you can do it with other friends in the same video and just share really briefly. That was amazing. It didn't fall. You can share how God touched your life, how you see things differently. And as you walk away from this workshop, friends, I want you to also consider this. How is my perception of social media different after this talk? What are some things I need to change? What are some things that I need to do to maybe see this aspect of my life differently? Is social media a blessing or is it a curse? Is it something that's benefiting my life or taking something away? Guys, you all matter so much. God bless you. Love you. Have a great rest of the day.